that ball rolling. I want to find some setups for us today, guys. And remember, guys, if ES is in a choppy zone, we're in a tight range, what we're going to do is we're going to try to find some equity trades to take. If ES and NQ doesn't give us a setup, that's fine. We just look for equities. We look for options. We look for stock. So let's take a look to see what Tesla and all them are at. Right, Meta's up here. See, alright, so Meta broke this 1 hour supply. So now I'm going to be looking for Meta to play this supply zone as a demand zone. See how even on Friday we broke it and came down and reclaimed it? So this is now going to be a demand zone I'm going to watch on Meta. So let's change this to demand. And you guys let me know if you got any questions or anything. I know you guys are a bit more on the quiet side for the most part, so no worries on that. I'll do the yip yapping. And you guys got any questions, again, you guys just let me know. Alright. So Meta, that's the setup I'll be looking for on Meta today. Microsoft, I believe Microsoft has since broken this 2 hour. Let's get extended hours off of that. It partially broke its week out of it, so that's something I would look out for. I do like this 2 hour supply on Microsoft. I would look to play this short once we get back up to it. So let's do 2 hour. So we have a 2 hour supply. Make that red. And we're going to do show on the right. And now we could throw the little rectangle tool. And now we have our 2 hour supply on Microsoft. Now we have another trade setup to look out for. But this one might not happen for a bit, guys, because we are over $10 away from this zone. So it probably won't happen. I'm trying to look for another area. I'm looking for a demand down here, something that we bounced off of previously, to give me another area of demand to target once we do break this one. So it looks like it would be something down here. See how we sort of rounded bottom and then we went higher? So I'd look for something over here. Let's check the 3 hour. Maybe a 3 hour zone right here, because we have the basing, right? We have a small red body and we have a long red wick on the bottom. And then we had a pump after, and we did have continuation. So I would mark this one out. Let's do a 3 hour on this one right here. First the rectangle, and then we'll throw up our trend line. And now it's a second trade setup we're looking for on Microsoft. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this 3 hour demand as a target. In case we see how we're weak and we're below this demand, we're almost below this demand. Under this, so 332, 60-ish, under that, I'll be looking to play puts, shorts. I'll short Microsoft, just like I explained on the options tutorial, the webinar from Saturday, guys. I'll look to short it. What was I saying about the options tutorial? I talk too much, guys. I lose my own track. Alright, so anyways, yeah, so that's going to be the second trade setup. First setup, Microsoft is going to be shorting this 2 hour supply. Second setup is going to be looking for shorts below this 2 hour demand zone. And what I would look for then, so let's go to a smaller time frame, and we're going to look for the range. So the range is about here, right? So let's throw a trend line right here. And the range will be this trend line to this trend line. That was our range, right? We had 1, 2, 3 touches, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So this is our range. So I'll look for us to break below the range, come reclaim the range, and then go lower. I don't want to be the first seller to this. You'll never be the first buyer. You'll never be the first seller. There will be pullbacks. So be careful for those. So I'm going to wait for it to break, reclaim, go lower, targeting this 328.60 level. That would be about a $3 to $4 move on Microsoft, guys. If we go over options, just like the webinar, let's do Microsoft. Let's delete that out. Now, let's say we wanted the we're shorting the market 330, target's 328. So if we did the 330 puts, which are out of the money right now, those are about 230, 237 because this is the weeklies and they're going to be a little bit more expensive than when it's like a Thursday or something because now these have about 4 days till expiration. And we would look over at the delta, and the delta is 38 on those, but the theta is 42. Remember, guys, something I like to look out for is I want there to be higher delta than theta. And if not, then I need to make sure my move will at least catch more than a delta and a half then to cover that theta if I want it to swing. If I'm not swing trading and I'm day trading this, that's completely fine. You don't have to be that aware of the theta, but it's good to be aware of it because it is a strong Greek and it is relevant. No way there's a 90% discount code. Really? For
Yes.
it's back up?
It's back up, yeah, I think until July 6th or something.
Oh man, you know I'm gonna be getting a bunch of codes, a bunch of accounts,
I was thinking the same thing.
just like account after account.
Is that for Apex? Sorry, what was that for, guys?
Yeah, yeah. Apex is running that save 90 again, guys. Fantastic sale.
Right,
Yeah,
hang on.
I just bought 2 accounts, so it's active.
Nice, nice. So I think we might, Microsoft wise, I think it might pull back first and then go lower. It's just an idea, just a thought. Let's check out what Apple's doing. Apple at key level. We do have a bit of a 15-minute. Here's a 15-minute demand zone that formed because we have the red basing and then the green continuation. So let's check what the 30-minute looks like first, guys, because remember, we always want to be in the higher time frame zone. So let's check out the 30-minute. Yep, see there's a 30-minute zone instead of the 15. There's also a 30 right here, which could work out too because this would be the rally, the basing, and then the rally. So if we do hold this demand zone, that would be creating then a higher high, a higher low off of this area. So that's something to look out for too. NVIDIA is under that 15-minute. Let's see what NVIDIA is doing, guys. Let's get some more days on this chart. I don't know why it's so small. Alright, so this 15 we've broken a few times, and at this point, you see how, like, we're not, like, sometimes when a demand breaks, we'll use it as supply, or when a supply breaks, we'll use it as demand. This isn't really working like that at all, so I'm just gonna completely remove it. I might keep this key level, this 15,427.13 level, though, as a key level, and the reason for that is because NVIDIA is one at all-time highs, so I don't have any key levels at this area. And two, it did work out as a key level. Not the strongest, but look, it held up as support, 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 a little bit of resistance, a little bit of resistance, support, resistance. So sure, this is a strong area of interest, an area to look to short and play puts on NVIDIA. So that would be another trade setup I'd look for today, is a short in NVIDIA around this area right there. So now we got three setups. So we got Microsoft we're looking out for, we got NVIDIA we're looking out for, Meta we're also looking out for. So we want Meta to bounce off this demand. Let's see, Tesla coming up to a key level. Let's see how relevant that key level is. Show extended hours off because we're charting futures. We're charting equities. Equities do not have after hours. That's only futures. Futures are 23 hours a day, so they have liquidity 23 hours a day, whereas equities are only open and available to trade during the 9:30 to 4 p.m. Market open. Yo, morning, Aaron. I saw you pop in here.
Good morning. Quick question. How do futures work?
Futures, so basically, so you know how options, they're affected by the Greeks and everything, like delta could go in your favor, or if it's chopping against you and theta's going against you, then it'll slowly decay. So basically, futures work as if, let's see, oh nice, we're getting a good pump on futures too. If you wanted to enter I'll pull it up on the 1 minute chart so I can show you exactly. So let's say you entered right here at 43925 or something, and you caught, this is 2.75 points. Then you caught that 2.75 points. It doesn't matter if you caught that in 2 minutes or if you caught that in 2 hours. There's no theta on futures. There's no delta on futures. 1 point is always going to be on ES, $50 for one ES contract, and 1 point on MES will always be $5, regardless of how long you're in the trade. Whereas options, if you are holding the trade longer than you either have to or you're holding through a choppy market, sometimes the IV might come lower, sometimes the theta will go against you. Whereas with futures, you don't have any of that. You could get in, and then it could chop for a bit, and then you could wait and let it do its thing. Like, you don't have to be scared on a choppy like this. You know, obviously this is from like 7:30 to 9:30. Let's say this was during open hours. This chop right here on the 1 minute would screw you up. On the 5 minute also, it's very up and down, very up and down. This would be grabbing option premium left and right on SPY and QQQ, especially the 0 days, because that's where a lot of retail likes to go, because those do have a good percent return chance on them, but they are also very, 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 very deadly. That's where a lot of people lose all their money. It's with 0 day options, so got to be careful with those. Risk lightly, size lightly.
Do you need a specific account to trade futures, or?
Yeah, so it really depends. Thinkorswim, I believe it should tell us. Yeah, it tells you initial margin for ES is $12,000 for Thinkorswim, right? So you need a $12,320 account, and that would be a margin account too. Whereas if you wanted to do something, like if you're a new trader and you do want to get into futures, but you don't have all that money to put down, you could get into something like we were talking about Apex. And with Apex, you would spend, now that we're having the 80% off again, if you get the 25K Apex account, you're then able to trade up to 4 ES contracts. I don't recommend that on the 25K account. Up to 40 MES contracts, which again, the reason for that is so you could start scaling in and out of trades as you please. And basically they give you the 25K account. You would pay, it's only about $20 for the 25K account with the save 80. Nope, that might be save 90. It's only about $40 with the save 80, which is really good because the original price is usually around like 160 or something, and then it's always got a 50% off for about 80 bucks. But 25K account, you have a trail stop of 1500 and you have a target of 1500. Now, if you hit your target within 7 trading days, you have to keep trading till you hit 7 trading days. Doesn't matter, you don't have to be big trades. If you want to scalp a few, you could do that too if you did already hit your profit. Or another way you could look at it is you take your time with it. You take your time, you get the evaluation account. Maybe you want to shoot for $100 a day and take a little over 2 weeks to do it. They're not going to penalize you for that. You take your time, you do what you can, and then once that happens and you get funded, you pay a one-time lifetime fee on that account, and then you have a funded account. They restart it back to 25K. If by chance you blow it, you don't lose 1,500, you don't lose 25K, you only lose your initial down payment on that funded account, which is only about, when you get funded, another 150 bucks or so, which again, guys, if we're looking at risk to reward, your risk is 150 bucks to use somebody else's quote-unquote money, and if you do stay consistent, you're able to take profits twice a month. The risk reward is amazing right there, guys. Like, risking 150 to make almost endless. Like, if you guys are able to get your funded account, and so there's a trail stop, right, of 1,500 on the apex of the 25K account. If you're able to get your account to 2,800, the trail stops. Once the trail hits the 26,500 mark, which is 1,500 in profit again, which means your account would have to be at that, right, at 2,800. The trail stops there. So if you bring your account to 30,000 on your funded, you're then giving yourself, instead of a 1500 cushion, you're giving yourself a 3500 cushion, right? So you're really, really taking it careful. You're giving yourself more room to breathe in your trades. And again, once you get funded, that's your account. You do whatever you want with it. You could keep it at 35K and give yourself almost 10K of a cushion. Or screw that, you could get funded, make as much as you can, and then take the whole thing out, and pay yourself, get some dinner or something. Just want to point out real quick, Tesla coming up, rejecting that key level. Remember, guys, that was that key area. See how we had that consolidation here? We opened down here, we came back up, and we retested it, so this would be a good area to short. NQ demand zone weak? Probably. Most demand zones are weak at this point. Gotta remember, guys, the great part with supply and demand too is it helps give us like market context, like clues and stuff. So like if I'm seeing there's a pattern of demands breaking these past few days, I'll remember that and say, okay, well, going into today, I'm not going to look too steady on these demand zones or these I'm not going to look too strong on these demand zones. I'm going to look more for a failure. I'm going to look more for a supply zone or a failure to break out of a demand zone, and I'll look to short that. Whereas everybody might be going long due to the demand zone, or retail might be chasing some sort of long on all these little impulse moves. I know that the stock market's been telling me demand zones have been breaking, new supply zones have been forming. Play the trend, trend is our friend. And that's why I always say, when in doubt, zoom out, because it's easier to see what's going on with that trend when you look on the 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, things like that. Do you think? Yes. Let's see. Yeah, so right here would potentially be a demand zone on the NASDAQ, right? Because we have, here, let me pull it up a bit bigger for you guys. Also, YouTube, I appreciate that. Mr. S says, I love the trading streams, really appreciate them. Absolutely, yo, we got you. Don't forget, YouTube, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Don't forget to check out our webinar from this past Saturday. Did it on options basics. If you're not at that beginner level, we do have other more advanced webinars based off support and resistance, supply and demand. What was the other one I did? I did just release some videos, some content on divergence as well, which is some good ones. But back into this demand zone on NASDAQ and why it is weak. So let's mark it out first so I could show you exactly what I'm looking at. So this would be the 1 hour, right? We're on the 1 hour time frame. I'm going to show that on the right. Going to make this green. And the rectangle's sort of already there. Now, we did hold it, right? So we held it once, we got a little bit of a bounce. We held it twice, got a bit of a bounce. But we have to take a few things into consideration. One, the rally afterwards was very weak. The rally candle afterwards had a big long wick on it as well, which tells me sellers were still trying to hold the market lower here. There was another big wick here. And honestly, this isn't that much of a move. This is only on NASDAQ. This is only max 114 points from bar to bar, 84 points. I mean, when I look for a supply or demand on NASDAQ, I usually like seeing much bigger moves. Maybe like a 200 point, a 300 point, something that's valid, something that is strong, that gives me strength, that gives me that extra confirmation of, hey, look, last time we were here, we had this super strong reaction. This time we're here, we're probably going to have that same strong reaction. Whereas this one, we had a weak reaction. What happened this morning over here, early in the morning, we had a bit of a weak reaction. Now we're coming back into this 1 hour. Now this is not a supply zone anymore because we did break it. But I would keep this zone because this is a strong area of interest, because every time we did get into it, we got some form of consolidation, or just recently we're getting these areas of rejection. So that's, again, something I would use, something I would keep in mind. If this wasn't looking as good as it was, this weak 1 hour area of interest, if it didn't have the rejection here or here, I would most likely just delete it, just like we saw in that previous Apple zone that I broke. We're at key level. Look at how we're playing that key level exactly on ES. Let's see if we break it. Let's watch time and sales. Let's watch level 2. Level 2's looking heavy on the bid over here, guys. A heavy bid usually means buyers are active. Let's see if we can push through this zone. VIX wants lower. That's a bullish sentiment in the market. I would not be playing any bearish moves right now. Although I was mentioning how weak this zone was, that doesn't mean I don't take the hints, right? I could switch like that. See that? We broke that zone. Now we're up a few points. But the question is, do we stay? Well, if you ask me, I'm looking at the heavy bid. It looks good. But now ask is also getting remotely heavy, so I would be careful. I'd watch out. Definitely trade lightly at this point. Gotta remember, when we're trading in a market like this, look to the left. We've been getting a whole lot of chop, guys. A whole lot of chop. This is a scalper's market. We do not want to be day trading this right now. Like, look at this chop, guys. There's no day trade in sight here. There's no reason to hold anywhere here. So why would I try to start forcing a trend when I know we're still in this area of consolidation, of unsureness? When we're in an area of unsureness, don't take any trades. There's no gun to your head. You don't have to take any trades. It's okay. We could wait. See, we have a 1 hour. Here we go. So we have a 1 hour supply zone here on ES. This might be a good area to go short, guys. Just a thought, just putting it out there. Because, and now here's a good reason, because the retail is going to be chasing this long because of the impulse moves we just got, whereas us, we know there's a supply zone here, and this would also be creating a lower high one more time, which would follow this trend. So now we might be getting in at the top here, right? So think about what retail's doing. Retail sees this. We're green, green, green. Oh, I'm going green, I'm going long, I'm going long. We're breaking this key level. They don't know about this supply zone. We break a key level, they take it. We're in a supply zone. Poo-poo, they just got shot down. Now we could be patient here, right? Wait for a bit of a rejection, create a higher, a lower high, and then go lower, and we could take that short. That's normally something I would do. I personally don't like just chasing into short positions when we're in a supply, and I don't like chasing into long positions when we hit demand. And the reason for that, well, the first reason for that used to be because I was trading options, and you have to be so careful with your options entries. So I would always want to wait for that pullback and confirmation, so I knew I wasn't going to be in that pullback, because then that's going to move against my contract. Something we can do with futures, like we were explaining earlier, is wherever you enter is where you enter. So you know what? You could have entered right here at 4,400, right? And you could put your stop at 4402.50. That would have been a 2.5 stop, and you could have had a nice risk reward on this trade, right? So that's the great part about futures. It gives you the opportunity to really try to get in near where you could expect to be some sort of top or something like that. And that's also where supply and demand is so great. Like, supply just gave us this perfect entry right here to go short. Let's see if it plays out. Let's see if we sell off, if we pull back, if we go lower. Let's see. Remember, we broke this 15-minute demand. I kept this for now just because it worked as an area of interest. We consolidated and held every time we were in it. Broke below it this morning. Remember, we broke below it. I could see this as a rally, a basing and a rally. I'm still just not confident with a bull move here. Let's check out what the volume's doing. I mean, alright, volume is a bit more on the bullish side compared in this volume profile study. I'm sorry, not volume profile study, volume cloud study. And that's a pretty good study because it shows you the actual volume compared. So let's see, guys, let's see. Coming into supply, I would not go long into a supply zone. I would only go long if we were down here or something, or breaking these areas, go long over here and target the supply zone. Now that we're in the supply zone, I would look for a reason to short. I would look for confirmation to go short. But
I was going to ask you, if it retests this supply zone and jumps back off, that would be a good indicator for a short position.
For sure, for sure. I would just personally, I would only trade on the 5-minute. I wouldn't go lower. And when I would look for pullbacks, I would like need it to close down here, close a little bit, and then pull back and close again one more time over here. Personally, you know what it is? I would like us to close this 5-minute candle in supply. That way I would look for a red candle to pull back after this candle. Then after that red candle, I'd look for one more green candle to tap the supply zone and then enter on that candle. But if we don't get that closure and we just break right through it, well then that's great too, because I didn't take any short positions right here. I was being patient waiting for the retest. So now if we do break it and go higher, I would wait for a break higher, retest in the supply to use supply as demand, and go up higher, and I would target key level right over here, so about 8-9 points away. But if, oh, you see this key, yeah, you know what, guys, I like this because look at this key level, and you see this higher high, higher high. If we break this high right here, we would be creating a bit of a higher high based off of these. We would already be creating a higher high based off of this right here, so remember this is a strong area. But once we break this higher high, you would have to consider, oh, well, retail's going to be chasing this. If they're chasing it right into another key level, you know, maybe this isn't the best place, right? So if they took it at that break of 44.08, not knowing that there was another stronger key level at 44.0875, they might get in on the break and get wicked out immediately. I do like how strong NASDAQ's been. Let's take a look at equities real quick, see if we got anything forming in there. Apple all-time highs, I believe. Nvidia coming back to that area of interest I marked this morning. Tesla holding these lows over here, guys. Let's see what that looked like on the 15-minute. I bet there was something on the 15. Let's see. I gotta fix my my time frames and whatnot. No, nothing on the 15. I would be looking for something right over here. But I guess that 250 key psychological level, guys. Remember, some key levels come from just them being whole psychological levels. 250 even, whole psychological level. 225, 275, 200 even, 300 even. These are all mental psychological strong levels for no other reason than one, they've probably worked in the past due to them being strong psychological levels. And two, just being whole numbers that messes with our psychology. And psychology plays a huge role when it comes into trading. Huge. Look at how we've been using this key level up to this key level, right? So that's been nice trades. So let's see. Let's see. We have Microsoft coming up to this key level inside this demand, which again, don't forget guys, we wicked out of this demand now 3 times. 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks. So this demand is no longer valid. So we would look to maybe short somewhere from 335.74 to 336.85 because that would be the top of this demand. And it would also be creating lower highs, right? So here's a lower high based off of this high. And then if we came up and failed, we would be creating another lower high. And then that would make us push lower if we create a lower high. So that's something to look for too, guys. When I say read the market and read the price action, that's what I look for. I look for lower highs, higher highs, different types of price action that would tell me or hint to me, hey, this is the trend. And if I can't figure out what the trend is based off the 5-minute, I'm going to go to the 15. I'm going to go to the 30. I'm going to figure it out. Okay, so this was a good close. I like that. I like that a lot. So I think, a lot of buying hitting the tape right here. But the question is that retail buying and filling up institutions' short orders? Are institutions selling their orders right now? That's what we gotta know. That's what our job as retail is to figure out. We want to trade with institutions, not against them. So I'm still watching the NASDAQ with this, and the NASDAQ looks to be still trying to make higher highs, while ES is failing and showing weakness, whereas VIX is also starting to round. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on, guys. Be careful. Might see a reversal around this area, especially if we got that key level on NASDAQ. Let's see. Yeah, look at this key level, guys, on the 30-minute, just from these past few days alone. We rejected it once. It was resistance. It was support, support, resistance, resistance. Let's see if we use this area as resistance again, right? So now we have two areas of resistance. We have one in ES and we have one in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ now closer to that key level. Now about to hit that key level. Did we hit it? No, 1 point away on NASDAQ on that. So now we're coming to that area of resistance. We're in an area of resistance. VIX looks like it wants to reverse. So maybe look to start forming a short position here, right? So maybe if you're somebody who scales into options or scales into futures, instead of buying one ES contract for $50 a point, you could do like two MES contracts here to start your position at $10 a point. So if the market does start reversing right away without giving us that pullback, you're not watching the whole thing without being in nothing. But if the market does go against you, you have a valid stop loss, and because you only started scaling into the position, the loss would be super, super minimal. So that's something you could do too, guys. That's the great part about futures and being able to scale in and out of these contracts and these trades, is it gives us that ability to be in or out, or to, again, just not be in it at all. If you're not sure, don't take anything. So remember, guys, NASDAQ pushing higher, ES is weaker. I could probably guarantee you it's because the Dow is pushing lower. Yup. Guys, look at that. That's crazy. That's understanding your markets, guys. I know that if ES isn't following NASDAQ as clear as it should, there's probably somebody holding it back, and that somebody tends to be YM a lot, and that's what helps create the divergences between ES and NQ is YM. I don't use YM that much when I trade. I use VIX, NQ, and ES, but YM does have a big effect on ES, so I will use that as well. You guys got any questions, any chart recommendations? We're starting to wick off of this key level. Let's take a look at the time and sales, level 2. All right, let's see. We could also, guys, be accumulating up here to pop, right? So we have to consider every possible outcome in the stock market, because again, guys, we don't control the stock market, we just control how we react to it. So if you took any short positions up here, right, while we're going higher and you want to start filling a short position, you don't go heavy because we didn't get the pullback, so that means there's zero confirmation to go short here, other than the supply zones and the key level. But you do have to be careful. So, right, a starter position, that way, you know, you could start getting in, you get a good fill, maybe potentially do start your position up near the highs. Then when we push lower, you start adding, so you can start getting more to your trade. But again, guys, we need an NQ to start rejecting this. I don't like it. But as long as NQ doesn't break this, guess we're okay. We could be, let's see if you guys see what I see. Boop. And boop. Alright, let's see if that works. Let's see how that holds up, guys, right? So if we fail, another thing I would keep an eye out, guys, is if we fail to reject the supply zone, right? We come down lower, we reject this, we come back higher, we reject it, we come lower, and then we fail to stay lower. That tells me sellers aren't coming in as strong as they could, and buyers have been accumulating this whole time, which means there's a chance we just break and shoot right through the supply zone. So that's something I'm going to be looking out for. Again, guys, got to give yourself all types of market, what's the word I'm looking for? Get market plans. You got to be ready with all types of plans for all types of conditions. That way, when one of those plans hits, you're ready, you're executing, and you're doing well. And when you execute, and let's say that plan doesn't hit, you at least knew where your stop loss was, and you didn't lose that big on that trade because you prepared knowing if I lose this much, and that's okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. The boss man. Bullishbrs boss man's texting me. I promise I'm not in trouble, though. It's because I do so great. Nah. Alright, sorry about that, ladies and gents and traders of everywhere. Alright, so here we go, guys. We got NASDAQ coming up to the top of that area. I sort of want to see what NASDAQ, the higher time frame NASDAQ, why I marked that as the top of that area. Oh, right, that week 1 hour area of interest. Alright, so let's think about it, guys. Retail doesn't see anything here. They just see a green chart. They're just, every time they just try to take a long. But now, we're starting to see wicks up here, right? We see wicks on ES, and we see NASDAQ has just been pushing too strong. So that tells me as soon as NASDAQ starts getting weak, ES is just going to fall. It's going to fall like a rock. So let's see. Let's see, guys. We had that false breakout. See if that was a liquidity grab, right? Because a false breakout will be a liquidity grab. See how also I want to point out, I know I got funny names. So look, so this was a good trend, right? We made a high, we made another high, we held the high, we made another high. But now, we made a high and we wicked and we rejected. We made another high, we made a high off of this wick and rejected. We're still rejecting, we're failing. We make another high, again based off of this wick, and what are we doing? We're rejecting. Now we're starting to see the trend, now we're starting to see a pattern, and these are the clues we look for. NQ also getting weak. Again, guys, this would be if we don't have any charts or any zones. Now we have a supply zone here. This tells me another confirmation of why we would go short in this zone versus any type of long plays. But you do want to remember, just like I was mentioning before, you do want to have plans for every situation. We're failing to hold lower here. That tells me bears are yet to seize control. Why haven't they taken control yet? Only one reason. The bulls are still in control. It's either the bulls are winning or the bears are winning. And when there's an imbalance or an unsureness in the market is when we get those tight ranges, and that's when we don't take anything. That's when institution doesn't even know what's going on. We wait. Institution moves the market. Volume, volatility, that all moves the market. Price action moves the market. We don't move the market. We react to the market. Alright, guys, alright. Let's see if we get a pop here. We sort of have a rally, a basing now, and potentially a rally on NQ. We just do need a lot of volume volatility to push it through that, through this key level right there. Let's see if we get it. YouTube, you guys got any questions or anything? Any chart recommendations or anything like that? Discord, you guys as well. No, cool beans. We'll keep it going. And guys, this
Kevin, thank you for being so smart.
For sure, Victor. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm happy to share my knowledge with you guys. It's good stuff. I love the stock market. Every day brings a new opportunity and a new opportunity to not only trade, but to learn. Alright, let's see if this is going to be another wick, guys. Remember, every time we were just trying to break these highs, we wicked, but I also mentioned how we were failing to hold lows that buyers could have been accumulating here, and we could just burst right through the supply zone, which is exactly what we're doing right now. The question is, will we hold above it? Now, if you didn't get any longs over here because you were nervous, because me personally, it's hard to go long going up against a supply zone, because then if it does dump against me, I'm over here kicking my own butt because I just went against my own zone. Shakir Harris, brand new to Reading and been following with courses and live streams. Love your content. Yes, absolutely. Hey, welcome to the trading community. Welcome to our Bullishbrs community and our channel. Yeah, we got tons of great stuff. I just put out a couple videos yesterday. Got a few more. If you check our playlists and go under webinars, there's about 4 webinars in there. I would start with the options basics so you can learn what options are. That's a good one to start with. I did that one 2 days ago. Alright, let's see if this was a fake out again, guys. Because remember, these wicks were trapping buyers. Let's see if this wick traps a buyer again. The only thing that I'm considering is we broke this 1 hour, and usually if we break the zone, it usually invalidates it, but what we've been seeing lately is a lot of times, and this is just lately, another way of catching the clues and the hints of the market. A lot of times lately we've been wicking out of zones and then reversing, right? So if we've been doing that a few days the past week, I'm going to look for that trend to continue. So I'm not going to take the break of the zone. I'm going to wait for it to close above the zone and then use that supply as demand, right? So that's the confirmation. Or I'm going to wait for it to wick out of the zone, and then I'm going to wait to see if it does continue. If it continues, fantastic, great. If it doesn't continue, I know that that was a trap. Let's see, did we get any plays? Oh, here we go, guys. Look at NVIDIA. Key level right there, key area right there on NVIDIA. So far, so good on that. Apple hit 188. Microsoft's coming up to its key level, getting weak around it too. Meta's holding VWAP. Let's take a look at our relative strength, guys. So anybody who is new to our community, I like to look at relative strength by having a watch list of charts, and those charts will all be heavily weighted stocks, either in ES or NQ, or just very large cap stocks with a lot of volume and volatility that you could trade options on. Now what I would do is I sort it from change percentage. And I would do this, the smallest, the negative change percentage, I could only go short on those stocks. And whatever's the strongest change percentage right now would be Amazon. I would only be able to go long on these stocks. So Amazon, we're looking at a 30-minute right here. We have a nice big rally. Now if this 30 closes as a long wick on the bottom and a small red body, that could be a rally, a basing, and another rally. So let's look at Amazon on the higher time frame for a moment. So see how we were in this range on Amazon? I'll show you the range. It was right here. We had this range, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, broke it. Let's see if we retest the range in here around 130.50, right? That's also going to line up with VWAP. And then go long from there, right? Because this is on the relatively stronger list. I can only go long on this stock, so I would look for a long setup like that. Whereas something like, let's see what was weaker. Google is weaker, so let's see what Google's doing. And that's something I would only be able to short, right? So look, this was yesterday's VWAP. And if we look to the right, where my crosshair is, yesterday's VWAP, 122.67, it sort of came up, it sort of held this zone right here, and now we're rejecting that. So I could only go short on things that are relatively weak, I could only go long on things that are relatively strong. And I throw that in with what trend ES and Q is doing, and then I'll pick whichever side is winning. And that's how I find my relative strong, relative weak, and higher probability trades on equities while using the relative strength trick along with ES and Q. So look at this, guys. We did get that wick. This was a liquidity grab. Now look at the rejection we're getting. Anybody who was filling their short positions were started scaling in over here, right? So they're doing well. And even though they only scaled in at a small position of their size, they're still in the green on this trade. Now I wouldn't add here. I would still be patient because, again, these wicks tell me there's no continuation yet. I need to start seeing some candles close strong. Close without wicks. I want some clean price action. Right now, look to the left. This is not clean price action. Not clean, not clean, not clean, not clean, not clean, not clean. Gross. Maybe right here. But I mean, nobody's trading. Well, you guys might be trading, I don't know. But if you guys are trading at 8 at night, good for you, caught this move. But but intraday wise, guys, look at this chop. This is not clean price action. These are scalpable days. But let's see if we get the move lower, right? Because we're at the top of the supply on NASDAQ. We're at that key level rejecting. I said once NASDAQ starts selling off, I think ES drops like a fly. VIX, I bet, is popping. Yup. See, guys, we're just gonna keep going. I think the bear move will come, guys. Just like I've been saying earlier. Thought it was coming. All these wicks, all these buyers. Gotta think what's retail doing. I'll pull it up again. Yo, morning. What's going on, Ricardo?
Good, man. How are you?
Chilling, bro, chilling. Catching some plays, catching some trades. We're going over what retail would have been looking at this point right here. Was how we're going up higher, right? They were bullish, right? These are nice big green candles, although they're only about 4 points each. Then we had a big rejection. Then once we started rejecting highs, every time we broke some sort of high, we would have another rejection or we wouldn't have follow through. Look at that. We broke the high again. We didn't have follow through. We broke the high one more time. We didn't have follow through. We actually had a big rejection due to that. So we got to take the clues the market gives us and play it against the market. Play it with the market. Don't think we're trading against the market, guys. We trade with the market. But remember, another thing I was saying too was if we fail to hold lower below this zone, then we're probably just looking at a consolidation before we blast higher. I do want to see what's the daily looking like, and we'll make sure to definitely have nothing on this chart. Right, so daily chart wise, guys, I was looking to go long down over here near this 4,300 zone to swing trade some long positions, because I feel like this would be the next pullback before we go higher, right? This would be the higher low based off of this higher low. So the higher low would stall out somewhere over here and go higher. Also has a bit of a gap to fill. So that's something I would look out for. That's what I want in the stock market. Now, what we want to happen and what will happen are entirely different. We got no control over what will happen, but what we want to happen, we can make plans around that. And then we make plans out of what will happen if that plan doesn't happen. NASDAQ just keep pumping up higher, so that's tough. And look, guys, remember, because look, we saw these highs right here. Let's say we were retail trading swing high, swing low, and trading the breaks. We had that break right there. They took that break, and then they got swallowed. They got just like, oh my goodness, just stop hunted to the max, right? Because let's say they got in long here, and they put their stop here, or here, anywhere. They could put their stop anywhere. This would have stopped them out, almost guaranteed. Big liquidity grabs. Now, we don't know what direction the market's going in. Obviously, supply has not been holding up strong. Buyers have been coming in. I think we'd actually go higher from here. We do need to see that continuation, though. We do need to see follow through. We need to see heavy bid, light ask, heavy volume flow. Volume profile looking heavy. I keep calling that volume profile. Volume cloud looking heavy on the buy side. Really need this pump on NQ. Remember, guys, NQ's been stronger, so that's been giving us the suggestion that, well, maybe if NQ doesn't end up failing, well, then we might just keep going higher anyways. So let's see, we're up near the top of the supply again. Let's see if we break through it. Oh, that's better. Right now, guys, this market, I would just say don't even trade it yet. Don't take any. If you haven't taken any trades, don't take any trades. We got the range here, range like here, about like a 5-6 point range. I'd just like not take it until we break below the range, retest it and go lower, or break above the range, come back into the supply, use this supply as demand, and go higher. So those are the setups I'm looking for right now. Oops, sorry guys, I'm just getting a message from one of the members. I'm very needed, guys. As you guys see, I'm getting messages left and right. Now I'm just playing. Alright, come on, NASDAQ. Hold us higher. VIX pushing lower. I don't have much key level-wise on VIX over here, so I'm going to chart that out real quick. Let's take a look at the 2 hour. And boom, right away. Why? Because this is the bottom of the candle, and then it worked as support right here. So this was a support area. So if we go lower on VIX, I'll look for us to target over here, and lower on VIX means we're going higher on ES. So we'll look for that, right? Another key level could be... So you see how there could be one here, and there could also potentially be one about like here, right? So we could get as many trend lines as we want, but at that point it gets too overwhelming, and we might be trying to trade every reaction, and we don't want to do that. They shouldn't be too close. Should be okay. It's not the end of the world if you have a lot of trend lines. It does, again, guys, too much stuff on your charts, though, will get overwhelming.
What is your stop loss size, Kevin, for ES?
Well, it would depend on the trade. It depends on the risk reward and everything. It depends. It depends on the account size. If I'm doing one of the 25k evals, I'll really try to have a max stop at 200, right? And I'll try to have max profits, or at least minimum profits of my trades, to be 300 or 400. Do you know anybody who offers signals? I've been learning from the last couple of years, and I'm considering going live, but wouldn't mind paying for signals just to compare what an expert would do. Yeah, Mr. S, we don't do signals here, just because we're not about that. We would much rather teach you how to do it by yourself, do it independently. But as you hear, if you've been listening for this stream, I will say, like, hey, look, could look to start a position here. Could look to grab liquidity here, or I could say like what's going on exactly, or what zones I would look to short. But I'll never be like, I'm taking this right now, or guys, take this trade. I can't and I won't. Just can't. It's not as much as a won't. It's more of a can't. You know, it's not obligated to. We're not financial advisors here. Alright, we're getting that pullback, guys. Let's see if Amazon wants to hold that VWAP level. But what we could teach, again, is how to be profitable and how to do it independently. Ironclad, fantastic job, bro. I don't even like to show profits half the time. Cause I don't know, it's I feel like it adds an uncertain amount of pressure, not even to me, but like maybe to either other admins or to other traders in the group who might just, not out of jealousy, but just out of just not being there yet. It gets a little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Competitive?
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. It gets a little competitive, even though obviously, like, you know, the people who are moderating here and teaching you guys are at a different place than you guys. It still feels like, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it, and I feel like I could teach you guys without showing anything like that, so if that's the case, then I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, I did want...
appreciate you as well, Kevin, for teaching like that.
For sure. No worries, mate. Completely get that. Just want to build my confidence as trading lives completely. Yeah, so Mr. S, trading live is definitely completely different from trading, like, paper. Because paper, you can't really get attached to that. What I would recommend, I don't know if you heard the whole Apex spiel, but Apex is a fantastic place to get started. Because then again, let's say you use the Save 80 code, you pay $40 for a 25k account. They give you the data to trade, so you could use Tradeovate or Ninja Trader, and they give you the data, so you could use as much time as you want, and maybe use MES contracts instead of ES contracts on the 25k account, and look for smaller moves. Get like 5 to 10 point moves each, and then slowly start to add contracts to that. Because once you do show consistency on those accounts, the evaluation account, if you pass it, you get a funded account. Once you get funded, you can't lose that. Well, you can lose it, obviously. You blow the funded account, you have to start over on an eval, but you're not blowing an account to the point that you're down so much you're getting margin calling you, and you got just issue after issue. You don't know what to do, you're all out of money now. It's an opportunity to really test if you could be a profitable trader, then you could pass one of these evals, no problem. So I would definitely check that out. It's a very small risk, very high reward situation. Hey guys, check out Amazon. I mentioned this earlier. It was pulling back into this zone, and pulling back into the zone also lined up with the VWAP, so that would have been an entry to go along or grab calls on Amazon. Mr. S, that was a great example right here. Amazon earlier this morning, I was mentioning that trade setup. What else? NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I mentioned this area of interest along with the key level. Look how perfect that move is. Already $1.50 move off of that. And here's an example of what I would look for off of supply zones. Although this isn't a supply zone, I would look for us to come into it, reject, have a green candle that comes back. Because what happens here is, I hate that there's no like curl or anything, but what happens here with this green candle is it creates the lower high, right? So we failed this key level / supply, came lower, we didn't retest it, but we created a lower high. This would have been the entry to go short. You would have entered about here, you would put your stop loss at highs, and you would let this trade play out. Now remember though, we're going short on NVIDIA while thinking we're going long on Amazon. These are counter trend trades, but we do have to remember every stock is different. No two stocks will run together all the time exactly, but they are different trading setups that we looked for. Google also coming down to the bottom of its range here, which lines up with the VWAP. So the question is, do we bounce? What are equities doing? What are futures doing? What's the market doing, right? So now we say, what's the market doing? It looks like it's keep faking out shorts. Look right here, NASDAQ created a lower low on the wick compared to this wick, whereas ES created a higher low compared to this wick. So that might be a sign to go higher. Again, guys, looking at this market right now, even with no zones, you don't want to be trading a market like this. Just look how choppy this is. When the 5 minutes are closing like this, the 15 minutes are looking like this, the 30 minutes looking like this. It's like you gotta wait then. Wait, just be patient. Let this 30-minute close. We got 6 more minutes on this 30-minute. Maybe we come back up and create a basing, so we have a rally, a basing, and then a rally after. Or maybe this candle comes back up and creates a green basing before we have a drop after. But it all depends, because right now, if we're looking at the larger time frame, it's easier to get a bit of a picture. Whereas if we look at the 5-minute or 15-minute, it's like, what the hey is going on here? So let the larger time frames close when the smaller time frames are choppy, period. That's how you find your trends, and that's how you stay out of bad trades.
Kevin keeping us safe.
Yes. Absolutely. Always. That's my goal. Keep you guys out of those crazy trades that like blow accounts. And that's what supply demand does too, guys, is it gives you those ranges and it gives you those areas. Like if you're getting short over here, right, just because we're getting into supply, or you got short because of this 5-minute wick, you could have had your stop at the top of that and then just stopped out immediately. So it's using price action along with zones that really helps give you the extra higher probability and extra safety net of knowing where your stops, your targets, and your entries are. Selling on the tape, then buying hits, of course. Shot a big buy orders hitting on NQ right here. But let's see if that was just, yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure Dow's probably still dropping. Yeah, yep. Dow's what's holding us down this whole time. So opposite of looking at NQ and thinking, well, if NASDAQ, once the NASDAQ fails, it's going to plummet ES with it, right? Well, if NASDAQ holds up and YM starts to hold up and push higher, if we get NASDAQ and YM pushing higher, we're probably going to see a good move on ES. Definitely got to be careful around this zone. So if we're looking at Amazon, we had a drop, a base right off of VWAP, and now another drop. But let's see if this wick, if this candle holds VWAP. If this candle holds VWAP, then we're holding this trade. This trade stays valid. If this fails, it does not. Google failing its VWAP.
Yes, we're distributing right now, right around the VWAP. So
Yeah.
it's a. I did well in the kickoff right there, and then I took a short that messed me up, man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Me too.
But it's all good. It's all good. Risk management, right?
All
I
right,
did some
there you
risk
go.
management here. I bounced it back. So now I'm waiting to see, okay, how do I bring it back to green?
Good.
You
Be
know?
patient. Wait for the break of range. Wait for the. Some people call it break of structure. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the ICT concept. It's like break of structure, fair value gaps. It's a different form of understanding liquidity and market context, but it is a little it's a little advanced. It's very complex in my opinion. Like supply demand to me is just like you chart the zones, you just read the chart and you just throw up a demand, throw up a supply and find your key levels where we've rejected before. Whereas the whole ICT thing, they got like fair value gaps, which would be like from here to here would have been a fair value gap, because what happened was we had this 15-minute huge candle, and you mark the fair value gap as the area where there have been no orders. So from this wick to the next candle's wick. So this area would be your fair value gap. I'll even mark it with the rectangle, make it a little more clear. That would be the fair value gap. They would look to play it long in this zone to go higher somewhere. And then they got things like break a structure, which is like, where is it? They would mark like, see how we were in this range right here and we broke it? They would mark this and they would be like BOS, which is break of structure, or I think they also call it CHOCH, which is change of character. But again, guys, these are just different ways to read the market, different ways to understand the market, understand liquidity, understand market context. And everybody finds something that works for them. You just got to find it. And you just got to sort of work on yourself. You got to learn. You got to take the extra time to figure out what does work for you, what clicks for you easiest, what doesn't click for you, what doesn't work for you, what does work for you. And again, that also comes with journaling. Journaling is a huge help when it comes to stuff like that.
Hey, Kev, I scalped 2 points in a short position for my first live futures trade and made $60, 5 contracts.
Hey, good job, man.
That's MES.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was due to what you taught us, man.
That's awesome, bro. I love to hear that. That's great. That's really, really awesome. Made my day. You got me smiling ear to ear right now. You won that trade. I feel like I won that trade.
No, yeah, and it kind of took whenever I was getting ready to do it, there's been a few other trades that I've been like, oh, I'm going to take this, and then I'll miss it because I'll hesitate. But this one, I was like, I'm just doing it, and worked out, so I'm stoked.
Good, dude, good. Good. Take it easy, take it slow. Did you go in with the 5 contracts immediately?
Yeah, I bought 5. I bought 5 off the gate. Like I said, they were MES contracts. Which is what that would be like comparable to what a half of an ES.
Yeah. So that's good. That's cool. Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Congrats.
I appreciate it. I've been trading on my demo account a bunch in futures, and was starting to feel confident. But it's different when you're using your own money, you know?
It is, man. It definitely is. And that's why a lot of times I'll recommend that Apex thing, because as much as it isn't your own money, it sort of could feel like it, because the profit, you are able to profit even though it's not real money, and you're able to lose just a small amount. So it's, I don't know, it's something interesting I like.
No, yeah, I'm gonna set up an account. I'm definitely checking that out.
For sure, for sure. I'd recommend doing the Trade Ovate one. The Rhythmic one is a little eh.
Okay. So what is that? Is Tradeovate? That's a
I'll look at
platform,
this.
correct?
Yeah, it's a brokerage. It's a futures brokerage. They're actually a good brokerage too for beginner traders who don't want to do Apex, because they only require a minimum of $100 in the account to trade futures. You would only be able to trade one MES contract with a $100 account, but still, the fact that you could start with such a small amount when things like Thinkorswim need tens of thousands of dollars is definitely crazy. Here we go, guys. Getting that weakness, selling off. I'm gonna remove this 15-minute zone, guys, because obviously we broke. That's no longer valid. Now, something I would look for is if we fail to break below this 1 hour area of interest on the NASDAQ, which we just broke below, but we have VWAP right here, so this is a strong area where we could pull back. So if you didn't get short in supply, right? So we were getting short positions up here around 4,400. Now we're about 10 points in the money. That was a good move. You know, if you got a small size, got like maybe even two contracts. So two contracts, $10 a point, $100. There you go, and a $10 move. So that's interesting. Plus that would only be $20 if you had a 2-point stop. So that's good. It's always good to know what your loss will be and what your reward will be. Look at this, guys. NASDAQ just leading the way. There's drop city over here. What is VIX doing? There we go. Big drops, guys. Big drops. C-Trade, I'm glad you caught that, bro. That's awesome.
I feel like most of
Thanks,
the
man.
times
It's looking like I could have caught a lot more though.
That's alright. What time frame were you trading on?
What's that?
What time frame were you trading on?
I was trading on the 5, but I was switching back and forth between the 5 to the 15. I checked the 30 out a couple of times too, just to see what was going on. I caught it whenever we were up, and we rejected the first time we came back down out of the supply. I got in, set my stop at 44.02, and then just kind of like let it play out. It didn't hit. It like just barely hit it on the one candle. It might have been 44.0225. It didn't hit my stop, and then it just started going downward. A couple times it kept coming back up. I was getting nervous, but I just kind of like let it play out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good. And that, again, that's also a great example too of like supply and demand. If you were able to get short, again, anywhere up here and you're playing futures, you're able to let it chop a bit. You're able to let it do its thing and have like a take profit. You know, use VWAP as a take profit. Use a key level as a take profit. Something along those lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the candles were making me a little jittery on it, so I decided to just get out of the trade because I thought it was going to turn back.
Gotcha. Yeah, so remember though, once we enter a trade, there's only two places the trade could go. It could either go to our stop or it could go to our target. Everything in between is just noise. The market knows how to be noisy, knows how to stop us out from really profiting on our winners. You know, it knows how to wick a little bit before it goes completely parabolic. So if you're able to get in before it starts doing that wick stuff, like let's say, remember the whole supply demand thing, if you got in over here and around like 4,400 and it starts chopping around 43.95 to 43.97, that doesn't matter because you're already 3 to 5 points in the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's definitely a great strategy to have and a great strategy to use, supply demand. All right, let's see. I do think we go lower. I don't think we even pull back yet. I think we go lower. So if anybody wants to scalp, just a thought. It was just a thought. I'm just thinking maybe a scalp short here. We don't want to be chasing down here though, guys, because remember, when you get short here, where's your stop loss? You have to keep it tight. So immediately the stop loss is at the highs. But again, I do think we go a bit lower here. So let's see. NASDAQ just dump. Just completely dump. NASDAQ dump past that wick, and we're just dropping. Drop it like a saw. Come on. Alright, here we go, yes. Here we go, yes. Hit that key level. Hit that target. Hit that target. Yeah. Hit oh, a little bit. A little bit more. Oh. One more tick. There it is.
Come on,
There
drop.
it is. Nope, it just hit that key level. Now we're going to reverse. No. No, I'm playing. I think we go lower still. That key level was a good one, though. Good stuff, good stuff. That would have been a 12-point move from supply if you got in at the start of supply. 12-point profit, and you would have had a 3-point stop.
Yeah. The thing is, when I am in supply, I'm always shitting my pants, so I always jump out. I think like after 2, 3, 5 points.
What? Wait, what? Why? When we get choppiness like this?
Yeah, so when I'm in supply, when I go short, it's difficult for me to hold. You know, like 5, 10 points. I always shit my pants, so I jump out after 2, 3 points. Shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. You gotta, if you have trouble shorting the market, try to look at it with an inverse chart. Look at this. That was a nice drop. And I definitely did not call out to scalp it short from here, guys. So I don't know. I was just clearing my voice about like 3-4 minutes ago when I cleared my voice on this 5-point drop. But no call outs. We don't do that here. We just clear our voices now and then. Clear our throats. Oh, NASDAQ, lead the way. Damn. Good stuff, guys. Good move. The power of supply demand. What can I say? We had that quick, weird impulse move higher today. We showed weakness. Now, I could see stopping out or being scared in supply if we don't show weakness. But look at all of these wicks up here. All of the rejection up here. Although I did mention how we have to be careful because we were failing to go lower. We do have to be careful because vice versa. We were failing to go higher. We had much more fails to the high than we did fails to the low. And because of the supply, that would push us towards the short side. So again, having this and having a 3-point stop and a 12-point target, that's a 3-to-1 risk reward. That's the type of trade you want to be taking.
Kevin, when you say fails to the high, do you mean wicks, large wicks and then bulls failing to
oh
take
my
control?
goodness, look at this drop. Yeah, so I guess I'm wording it a little wrong sometimes. So sometimes when I say fails the high, like right here, we failed to hold the highs, we failed to keep higher highs, right? The bars, if we look at the candles themselves, if we don't even look at wicks on here, I want to see if I could turn the wicks off. Yeah, look at this. If we don't have any wicks here, look at this. We made a higher high a little bit based off the bodies, touched that supply, and then had a big sell-off. Look at that's beautiful.
I see. Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
For sure. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool, guys. I didn't even think of looking at it without the wicks till just now. That's really cool. I remember earlier too, when we were going through these candles, I was saying how, like Victoria just mentioned, we were failing the highs, we were failing to sustain higher, we were failing to hold higher. We would wick highs, we would reject. We would wick higher, reject. Wick higher again, reject. Last time we wicked higher, rejected the top of supply around 44.0225, 44.0250, and then had that crazy sell-off. That's something, guys. That was quite the move.
We just came back to the what pre-market low.
Pre-market low is a bit lower, 43.75. I think about like 5 more points away. But if people were chasing it, you gotta think, there we go. You gotta think, what's retail doing? Retail was probably targeting that pre-market low. And what happened? They were chasing it, they were waiting, and then they just got swept back up. And you gotta look at NASDAQ. NQ is now in that 1 hour demand zone. So that would have been a good area. See that this is, although labeled as not strong of a key level, I still had it as a key level. So that meeting up with NASDAQ demand after failing supply, that would have been the second target after this key level. So what I would look for now, if I miss this trend, if I miss this trade, is I would look for a pullback to this key level and go short, pull back to VWAP and go short, or just wait for price action to really show itself. Let the candles close. I always like to let the 5-minute close because you never know if it's going to close like this or close like this. So just let it close because hindsight is always 20/20. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see if that demand holds on NASDAQ. Look at that VIX key level right there. That would have been three confirmations on that target and or reversal. Key level plus demand plus key level. So we had key levels on ES and VIX, and we had demand on NASDAQ. Good stuff, good stuff. When those things align, when those things add up, is when you get the higher probability areas and zones too. Oh, check this out. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Oh, so close. Look at NVIDIA hit this demand so close. It was about 9 cents away from hitting this demand zone. But also, guys, just want to mention out, this short play on NVIDIA played out very well. About $8 drop on NVIDIA, guys. $8 on an options contract would have been a fantastic, a phenomenal trade. What did Amazon do? Amazon probably failed, right? So obviously we were looking at 2 trade setups. We were looking at a short setup on NVIDIA, and we were looking at a long setup on Amazon. The reason we were going short on NVIDIA is because we were near that area of interest, and the reason we were long on Amazon is because of the relative strength. But NVIDIA would have been the better play, because why? Because we also had the sell-off and the supply zones on the ES and on NQ. So those obviously would have had a big impact on those, and it would have brought NVIDIA lower with them. And that would have been, again, a fantastic trade options-wise. Here, let me show you guys a real quick trick on TOS. If you hit this little symbol table, you go over to options, and then you could type in whatever symbol you want, and it'll bring up a mini options table for you. I promise, sometimes it works. Oh, Thinkorswim, you're making yourself look bad. Damn, it doesn't want to work right now. That's crazy. Usually it gives a little options table. But if that's the case, let's see if I remember how to type out in options. NVIDIA 2306. Let's say we got puts. Let's say we got the 420 puts, right? Because at this time we were at 426 on NVIDIA. that would have got us filled around 400s, 500s, and that is now, the option is now at the 8s, 7s, high 7s. So that would have been a great trade, guys. And let's say that was a bit too out of the money for you guys, or that was a little too expensive for you guys. We could check out the 415 put. You can see how that's going, right? And the 415 put went from 287, or so let's say around the 300 area, to highs of 550. So guys, $250 return on a $300 investment. Fantastic trade return. Fantastic trade right there on a video. Now, if we're looking at Amazon again, remember we had this similar price action right here within these candles above VWAP. Now we're below VWAP. We're having this price action. Let's see if it brings us to the bottom of VWAP, and instead of using it as support, it uses it as resistance, right? So once support is broken, it becomes resistance. Once resistance is broken, it becomes support. Look at that reversal too. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh, guys, by the way, for anybody who was there for the Options Basics webinar, did you guys enjoy the slideshow, PowerPoint, whatever you want to call it, or should I keep going with the whole chart thing and do it like that?
No, either format works, Kevin. However, it helps you get the.
Cool. I wasn't sure if, like, I didn't know if, like, you guys would take screenshots or take notes or anything, and I know options are definitely a little more in-depth than actually, like, trading and charting.
No, I really enjoyed that. I'm still not up to the options level yet, but I'll get there.
You'll get there.
You're not here tomorrow, are you, Kevin?
Tomorrow, Tuesday? Yeah, so what's going on, guys, is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm in the live stream. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to be in the hangout. And it's vice versa for me and Jeremy. That way, because we were having some problems, some of the members are having issues. Obviously, we can't both teach at the same time, so it's better we split up the classes, so to speak. So that's how we're going to be doing it from now on. And also, the YouTube is going to be live for free Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Tuesday, Thursday, you have to click it through the link through the YouTube video, through the stream replays if you do want to access the YouTube. That way we're more focused on you guys all week, because I feel like we should be focused on our members more. And guys, YouTube, you guys too as well, everybody listening, if you guys are more than welcome to join our community. It's really a great community to start learning, to continue learning, whatever area you're in, your trading destination, your trading path is definitely a good, strong community to be in. Alright, we're back up to VWAP on ES, guys. Let's see if it holds up. We're also rejecting supply on NASDAQ. Let's see if we create that lower high, but I don't know. That's tough, man. That's tough. We're back in a position where we don't know. So if we're unsure, there's no trades to take. We got Meta back in demand, right? Remember, this was an area I wanted to watch for Meta. So even if you shorted up here on Meta, it was a $4 drop with the target being demand. See if we reverse on Meta. Microsoft holding that key level. Remember, I marked that key level this morning. So that was a good key level. Also the bottom of its 2-hour demand. Do you guys see the Discord channel, the Discord membership channel?
Yeah, is that where you get like a lot more gifts and stuff?
No, I had no idea what it was. It was it's a channel in our Bullishbrs community. I thought Lucian just made it, but it's dated back a year or so.
No, I've not looked at that, I'll be honest. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
There's so much stuff on Discord that you just sort of stick. I stick to the main stuff, you know.
Yeah, me too. I only hang out in the main chat. I'll hit up the questions tab. Oh no, we got rid of penny stocks? Guys, penny stocks is gone. I know, don't sound too upset, everybody.
Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay, Gav?
Dude, I don't know. I know that was our selling point, you know. All right, whatever. That you know, now we can focus more on here. Not like I hung out in there that much, anyways.
I did love the penny stocks, though.
Yeah, that was a good thing to keep different. Oh no. Well, Lucian's back. Look at this put. NVIDIA put. Let's see if we hit that target. 441871. What time frame is that? 30 minute? I think NVIDIA gives us that target. 41871. I like it when it lines up with us failing, or with us having a key level or some sort of higher, lower, low that needs to be broken right before a supplier demand, because a lot of times those are the fake outs because of the supplier demand. Alright, here we go. And target hit on, and boom, there it is. No, wait, no, not yet. There it is. Good stuff, NVIDIA. Good play, NVIDIA. Crazy. Guys, don't forget to use that journaling channel before that also gets deleted. I feel like Lucian's coming in to clean up. I hope so. Me and him were gonna clean up and kick butt.
Yeah, go Kevin.
Hey, we would be nothing without you guys. You guys are as much of the community as we are. We just teach.
I got the day off tomorrow, so I'm hoping to trade live. But right now, I'm just sitting and looking.
Nice. Aaron, I think you got a bit of a hot mic. Alright, let's see, guys. Look, we came back up to this supply area of interest on NASDAQ. We had a rejection candle. Let's see if we create that lower high here and go lower. We're also at VWAP here. See if we go lower. Looking at the fear and greed index, we're up to greed right now. We got one more spot before we're in extreme greed. Let's see if we hold this demand on Meta, guys. This could be just like we were able to get in near the top for this drop on ES. This might be the bottom of Meta. Might be. Keyword is might be. You never, ever know for sure. Same with NVIDIA, right? So we made those lows. That was a fake out, right? Because we had this demand zone. Let's see if we wick the top of this demand zone and reject and go higher again. Instead of looking for what is happening to confirm to go long or short, look to see what is faking. Like what is retail doing? Always think, what's retail doing? How can I counter trend them? What are they doing? Because it's usually wrong. Yep, NVIDIA going lower. Damn, this contract over here, that 415 contract's looking at almost 620 right now, from 280, 290, 300-ish. So that's definitely over 100% return on that. And that's a Monday, right? Today's Monday? Dude, today's Monday. That was a weekly option that went over 100% on NVIDIA. That's crazy. Usually, if you're looking for a high percent return on an equity, you're not going to see like big 100, 200% returns and stuff like that on a Monday, because equities have weekly options. And as you'll see, I'll pull up the pull this up real quick. As you see, obviously the prices are very high in value, and the delta theta doesn't really go too hand in hand. I mean, look at the delta and then look at the theta. The theta is nearly triple the delta on NVIDIA right now. That's disgusting. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole right now. Earlier, it wasn't even this bad. But that's also why I would day trade those. I would not swing trade those. Never swing trade a weekly. If you were able to get in this trade here around like 290 on NVIDIA, and we're selling off like crazy, and it looks like on the higher time frame, let's even look at the daily, right? Because if we're swinging, we want to be looking at the daily, not a hourly. But if we're looking at the daily, it looks like we could sell off to like 400. So maybe I do want to swing trade this one. Right? So look, we have a key level though, maybe right here, maybe right here. Let's look in the 4 hour, 3 hour, and try to find a key level. Let's see. We got an area of consolidation here, but there's no red candle. 2 hour. Nope. 90 minute. Big ol' nope. 1 hour. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. This is NVIDIA. This is blank. Oh, wait. I have that. Why do I have that as a 30 minute? That's a 1 hour. Either way. So now that I have a 1 hour demand there, guys, I would not want to swing that, right? I would have day traded this. I would have shorted it up here near the key level area of interest. Would have took profits right here in demand. Period. That would have been the trade. I would not swing trade this. Can't swing trade a short or a put while we're in a demand zone. Then we could end up waking up and we could end up gapping up here. And then this whole contract's going to be destroyed. Theta's going to wreck it. Delta's going to wreck it. Everything's going to wreck it. And I'm just going to be upset. And that's not how we trade, guys. That's how people gamble. We don't gamble here. We are not gamblers. We are traders. We take highly educated, high probability, not even, I hate using the word guesses, because it's all high probability, guys. When things add up, we're playing probabilities. We're not gamblers. Oh, well, gambling, you play probability too. Not really. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that about Russian roulette too, but I wouldn't say that I would start playing it and hope to win. Gambling is gambling. There is not much probability in that. There is probability, but the odds are normally against you, hence it being gambling. Whereas something like trading, and you're able to add factors into it, like confirmations, then you're playing probabilities. And we're no longer retail traders or gamblers. We're playing probability, and that's great. Look at that, 630 on those cons. Probably gonna get another dump on, yeah, there we go. Good stuff, guys. Hopefully somebody caught that. If not, no worries. Every day brings new opportunities. Tesla, potential drop base drop on the 15, right? So we have a drop candle, a basing right here because we have a green small body and a long green wick on top. And now we could see a drop afterwards with continuation for trend, which could bring us lower to this 244 zone. It's about $8 move on Tesla right there. That would be a nice trade. Nvidia still wants lower. Damn. 675 on these contracts, guys, that we would have filled around 300. That's something. That's good stuff, guys. It's the power of options trading right there. The power of being able to look at multiple charts, find setups, know your key levels, know your areas of interest. 690. I want to see this thing hit 700. I don't think it will. I think
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, Kev, you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you had a bit of a hot mic. You were making some noises coming out of your mic. I didn't know what was going on.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's
Sorry about
okay.
that.
I was worried. I was worried you were saying something and I couldn't hear you.
Well, I was trying to say something and you weren't hearing me because I was kept saying, Kevin, do you hear me?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, we didn't hear you at all. What's going on?
Okay, good enough. Well, it looks like we got it resolved, so that's all good. Sorry to interrupt.
No, never be sorry for interrupting. You're part of the community. Interrupt as you please. No, not even an interruption.
Okay, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Tesla's really volatile.
Yeah. Oh, Meta broke through that zone. Damn. Oh, 700 on these contracts, maybe? If it gives us one more drop, we'll see it. Ready? We're going to see 41620. Oh, there it is. 41616. Nice. Come on, Cons. Hit that 700. There it is. 700 on the ask. Hit 700 on the bid. You know you want to. There it is. Good stuff, guys. Good trades. Good stuffs. Good move. Meta also. Look at this, guys. Meta had this drop, this basing. I forget if I called this one out earlier. I might have been going up and down with these equities. It had this range. It dropped to the bottom of the range. It based, and then it dropped and had a big, massive drop too. This is a $4 move on Meta. Damn, 725, 730 on these contracts. That's crazy, guys. And the video was the play today. That's something. That's crazy, guys. That's a good strong move right there. What other futures are probably selling off right now, aren't they? It's alright. I would take account that equities are very weak right now. I would be careful playing any type of longs in futures. Yep, I'm probably gonna see shorter.
All right, Kev, I'm out of here, man. All the best in the market, guys. Take care.
Take care, Ricardo. Be good, Brody. Have a good day. Catch you tomorrow.
You too, bro.
Yeah,
Take care.
Ricardo.
YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We do go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For our members, we go live Monday through Friday, and we do have our Saturday webinars. Don't forget to check those out. Damn, that's crazy. 750 on those contracts, guys. The Nvidia. Wow. I wonder what something like a 410 would have been like. Like something really out of the money, right? 182 to 530. Okay, that's even crazier. But you gotta be careful with the at the monies because those could also go against you bad. Me personally, I think we got a big drop. We got these big drops, right? We got these moves. I think we might start to chop. It's 11. It's a little after 11. Damn, nope. Nvidia's just like, forget that. I want to keep going lower. Damn, bro. That 515, the 415 put almost at $800. Microsoft near the bottom of that range. Damn, nope. Damn. Gonna go lower and lower. How low can you go? Gonna see 44.20, 18. Oh, yep, 17. That's crazy. 815 on these contracts. Meta also just so weak. 30-minute on Meta. That's crazy. The market, guys, is you could be as experienced as experience could get. You could be as new can get. Me personally, the market never fails to amaze me. All right, here we're at the bottom of this demand now on Nvidia. If there's anywhere that we're gonna start chopping, it's from here. 830 on those cons. I would definitely look to exit those things now. What? Equities, right. All right, futures, right. So look, we got divergence. We got ES made that higher low. NASDAQ created that lower low. Be careful. Be careful, be careful. Damn. Meta's just dropping. Drop. Damn. Meta had this basing on the 30-minute too before we dropped, guys. Remember, it's always good to look at the higher time frame, because if you're trading off the 30-minute, then you trade off the 30-minute. You could be in 30-minute, an hour and a half trades if you're getting trends on the 30-minute. And a trend on the 30-minute is going to be a lot stronger than a trend on the 5-minute, I'll tell you that. 850 on these contracts. Alright, apparently everybody who owns Nvidia stock just hit sell today or something. I don't know what's going on with that. That's crazy, a $15 drop almost right now. From its open, we're only down $8, which again is still a big move, guys. Wow. I think Meta also just insane. So Meta's option contracts are probably going to be cheaper than, what's this weekend? Let's say we did the 280-250 puts, right? Which will be in the money very shortly. Could have got filled around 189, 190. But again, I always like to round up on these guys because you'll never really get the bottom or the top. So let's say we got filled around like 200, 210. They hit around 420. They're sitting around 425 right now. That's another 100% gainer on options. And that's what's really great with options, guys, is when you do get these trends on these trend days, you could really capitalize on a great return. Whereas choppy days, you know, you're better off maybe trading a futures contract, right? Where the choppiness won't really go too against you, but you're able to get in over here, let it chop, and then capitalize on the move lower. Whereas if you were in an options contract, if you were in SPY right here, SPY puts, and it chopped, and you got even a weekly would probably hurt you at this point. But to chop for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 candles of pure choppiness, huge wicks, huge rejections, not solid price action, that would destroy your options. And that's very difficult. It's very difficult to know when it's choppy and when it's clean. But in hindsight, it's pretty simple. If there are wicks, it's choppy. If there are no wicks, it's clean. But while the price is forming, as beginner traders, it's hard to really acknowledge or notice that, which is also another reason why it's great to be in some sort of live stream like this, because me personally, I can see that when it's forming, and I could remind you guys, hey, be careful, we're getting these wicks, check the higher time frame. you know. But yeah, that's about it on that note, guys. I think I am gonna wrap it up for today. It's already 11:15. I appreciate you all for tuning in today. Hope you all learned something, got some good trades in.
Sure did. Thank you, Kevin.
Cool beans. Awesome. All right. With that being said, I'm going to shut down the YouTube. YouTube, thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and have our webinars on Saturday. All right. Have a great day and happy trading.